Greetings, my friends. I am Gilles Mansillon. I come to speak about the spiritual ascension path. I hope you're having a good day. It is the spring here, and so I feel a lot better. I was kind of under the weather. There is all kinds of physical change that are happening. So if you have physical symptom, unless it is something that you feel it's like you have to see a professional, health professional that you trust, and see a professional. Otherwise, there may be a lot of a lot of things that needs to that shake up a little bit our body because it's been elevated. We're coming very close to this solar flash that will change everything, that will elevate all the consciousness, and for us that will definitely assist as well. For all of us who's already in the fourth dimension will be greatly elevated as well, but the whole planet, the whole humanity will be more conscious. It will make things a lot easier, and we're also crossing this photon belt, fifth dimensional gamma ray, gamma frequency, fifth dimensional light energy, and so we're really greatly assisted. But the fifth dimension is a choice. The choosing love and unity is not something the universe is going to force it. A lot of people will still continue for a while to live through their ego, the world of senses and competition and violent opposition and conflict and all that. But when the solar flash will come, that will definitely change and push the boundaries. People will no longer be able to continue the dualistic game. So right now we need to operate within the fifth dimensional consciousness within the 3D world. So it's like we're learning. We need to return to be really anchored in our physicality. But it will be a lot easier after the solar flash. One thing I wanted to discuss is that it's God is present everywhere and in everything. So once we move into this unity consciousness, God can communicate through any human beings that we cross. There is a spirit presence within them that can send us personal information as a mirror. But if you want to find the presence of the Creator, it's much easier if you go in meditation, you go in silence, and you go into the inner plane. It's so much easier to contact the Creator there, or to feel its presence. What's going on is a collective enlightenment as well as personal, and this enlightenment brings peace, it brings love, it brings compassion, creativity, inspiration, access to multiple dimensions, as well as guidance from a higher self and the higher intelligence of the universe. It is also about being aware that the presence of God at all time, to continue to cultivate unconditional love and unconditional forgiveness. And that will move us to this place of peace and unity, because unconditional love and conditional forgiveness is the only cure for that disease of duality and conflict and separation and all of that, all that, the fear, the separation, the judgment, all that have kept humanity in bondage for such a long time. So that was the Christ consciousness that was discovered on Sirius 13 million years ago to put an end to the galactic war. It wasn't Jesus, but it was a Merlin that offered a solution of unconditional love and unconditional forgiveness. And since then, all the advanced galactic society has adopted this Christed consciousness, and there are many that are assisting the process here. So, Paul, if you recall, I thank you so much. Not to forget to subscribe. I thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, and also for your donations. So, if you can, I'm going to discuss a few ideas here, and I'm talk about spirituality. There's going to be some great changes. I may have to do a little break on videos during the time of transitions, but it's going to be a physical manifestation of change that's been announced that will be coming. So, but for now, it's the card of the day is to be here and now, to be as present as possible, always in the here and now, in the presence of the of your divinity as much as possible. Always remind yourself often that you are an extension of the infinite Creator, and that's all that is truly your true identity. Is that the higher wisdom is nothing is better than your home. It is about feeling good in your body and feeling good in your environment. What we need to understand is the unfinished symphony. There is an inner process that needs to be resolved. So continue to work on yourself and to work with your guides and angels to align beyond, because beyond our mistakes and faults and limitation, there is this divinity that transcends all that. And so just forgive yourself and move beyond that, but continue to work on yourself. And what needs to be done is the respect of the rule, to alignment with the law of one, the law of perfection. God's law is perfect. It's like there is no compromise in God's law, yet it is flexible and adaptive and patience. For moving into the fifth dimension is like will bring tremendous rewards, but it requires to be patient. And there is the outcome is the treasure, the island of treasure. It is this wonderful treasure that is coming, but on a turtle back. The turtle will take her time to get there, but the treasure is coming. Right now we're moving away from a karmic cycle into a dharmic cycle. Once we've done the work, we have to understand that on the earth planes, all the dark agents, all the dark plans, the dark agents are being crushed. It's not yet visible, but very soon it's going to be revealed to the humanity. What's going to be revealed, it's darkness so dark about famous people and so on, that is the darkness is beyond human understanding. That's why it has to come, not to shatter all the consciousness of the planet. So he has to come progressively, but he will come into the light, and but the world will be shaken to the core and leave the world in shock. Do what you say to stay grounded, to stay focused on the light side of life, and continue to practice forgiveness. Forgiveness does not mean that the crime will remain unpunished, but it will keep you sane, and let divine justice take its course. So, because the light has already crushed the darkness on the astral plane. For a very long time, this world was controlled from the lower astral plane, the lower fourth dimension, by demons and dark extraterrestrials to maintain that illusions and conflict and war and all that. But now now those have been cleared. So it's like it's been done on the astral spiritual plane. Now it's only we need to just allow just enough time for it to be realized on the material planes. For the material planes is only a reflection of the astral spiritual. Whatever we project up there is what eventually we have to harvest. So, and spirit announce things always ahead of time, always ahead of the manifestations. So it's important to receive your own guidance, to receive messages from your higher self. Doesn't mean that life will be a bed of roses or just a quiet river. So it's like, but you will still be, the more we receive this guidance, the more we synchronize and align with our higher self, the more steps ahead we are in relationship to where we were before we started getting this connection to our connected self. Well, right now it's all about the redemption of our faults and fears, and cleansing, purification. We have to forgive ourselves. There is all kinds of energies that come from the stars. Many civilizations are sending light codes, like the diamond code, the 12 dimensional diamond codes from Lyra. Lyra is our genetic origin, the origin of all humanoid species in this part of the galaxy, the royal lions descendants, and everything is received through the pineal gland, the third eye, and then the light goes down into the heart, into our heart center. But we need to quiet our mind, to breathe and invoke our source, turn our source towards, think about turning your thought from your intention to the center of infinity, to where God is. Doesn't matter where you think of it. If your intention is to go to the center of center, the center of infinity, that's where you will always find God. God will always be a still presence at the center of infinity. So now you know. It's like that's what the higher spirit knows. That if they go to the center of paradise, they can always find God. That God will always be found there. If he was to move from there, everything would disappear and vanish except God that will remain. So God will always be found there. As just sharing my own thoughts, but they're more than just perspective. Some things are just perspective, personal reality and realization to my own human aspects. But that is not about just my own human aspect. It is eternal truth. So we need to really. To really keep our mind and consciousness to to invoke the presence of our Creator. When I call on God now, it reminds me of my soul connections, because I've been this person on the internet shows that she's so happy, and so I keep breaking it up. I say, well, you're happy, you don't need me, since we cannot be together. I even came to the conclusion that the only way to be happy in love is not to be in romance. To be happy in love is not to fall in love. For Plato used to think love was a mental disease, but we don't choose who we fall in love with. And it's always with an unexpected people, the most unexpected time. Yet when it can work and the relationship can work, it can be wonderful as well. So I do have to accept her, because I know maybe she's got all her life that is going on and she's so happy externally, but on a soul level she keeps coming back to me. So I have to accept that at some point it might work, since God keeps reminding me that we're so deeply connected. So it's just so it's because it is important to solidify your soul connections for your life before the final ascension, because after that all those people are wonderful people. They will be lost within the infinity of our consciousness. Once we move into an infinite consciousness, all those beings will be conscious of all that is all this part of infinity that we're connected to, but they will just be spark of light within our infinity instead of being close to us. So that's what I feel for myself. I don't want to lose those soul connection within the infinity of my being. So, but right now we chose to come into this ground zero planet to bring our own unique frequency from our origin, and we're all participating on that level. So it's about being full. It's also being about learning to be fully anchored in our 3D physical body, while living in love and unity in our consciousness, in all our daily routines, to bring about the love and unity of the source within each and every little aspect of our life. The more anchored we are in our physicality, the easier it is for our light body to descend. For me, that's my problem. A lot of people are 90% material and 10% spiritual. For me, I was the opposite. I was 90% spiritual, 10% material. So I've always been very connected to the spiritual plane, the stars, the higher dimension. But to exist in physicality was really challenging. My feet wouldn't touch the ground. It was like very, very difficult. Now I'm being anchored more with my physical body, but it was very challenging for me. For most people, the spiritual aspect is what is challenging. For me, it is the material aspect that is challenging. I have to accept that. But it's getting easier with time. Uh, to adapt to life in this physical reality matrix. Even though there's a lot of shadows, there's a lot of light and beauty as well. Connect to nature. There is a new physical architecture that is emerging, a detensification, a new chakra alignment that is being communicated from the higher planes as we move into this new frequency. And it is like eventually our body will become as clear as crystals, and we're crystals planted on the ground, and we're connecting more and more to the crystalline field of Mother Earth, of Gaia. And whether we know it or not, by being here, being planted as a crystal on the ground, we are assisting with every step of the ascension, is stabilizing the field, because it is a very intense energy, for the life force energy, to stabilize the field as the energy ascend, and there's all the transformation and all that. Yet we're only given what we're capable of handling, both on the conscious or physical level. And we are being assisted and supervised by the Syrian High Council and the founders from Lyra, the royal lineage, the lion beings. It's, those are supervising the evolution. They're like galactic police as well, but they're supervising the evolution of consciousness within the whole galaxy, and they're good friends, and they're in coordination with the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, and many others. And we're becoming more. We have to. For me, it's been a long time, but there is always new level of integration, that we are part of a great team of Ascension Earth Project, and all those galactic beings. We have many allies on the planet on physical human level, but we have many allies on the higher planes, higher galactics, as well as celestials, and we have our guys that are all are very personal assistance in relationship, but our own guidance takes precedence over any other considerations. So it's important to continue to turn within and call when you need to communicate with a higher beings. It's like just turn within and call, connect to the planet, and then connect to that being. Whatever works. We'll all develop unique, different method of communication with higher planes. We just need to we are a bridge between heaven and earth, and continue to cultivate, to allow the infinite embrace of the source for all the galactic beings. Are beings that have embraced their unique soul frequency, which is the infinite creator within them, and they are Christed beings. And so just they will never try to manipulate you or force you to do anything. They will always suggest something that could assist you. For beings that are trying to manipulate, to bring you to an outcome, to bring you to an outcome, are not necessarily enlightened. So just learning discernment and just continue to feel good, turn to good feeling thoughts. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. Thank you for your support. I'm going to finish with a little song and pull out a few more oracles. I wanted to come and say hello, and this song talks about love that is in the air. It goes like this. Love is in the air, everywhere I look around. Love is in the air, every sight and every sound. And I don't know if I'm being foolish, I don't know if I'm being wise, but it's something I must believe in, and it's there when I look in your eyes. Love is in the air, in the whisper of a tree. Love is in the air, in the thunder of the sea. And I don't know if I'm just dreaming, don't know if I feel safe, but it's something I must believe in, and it's there when you call my name. Love is in the air, love is in the air, whoa, whoa, whoa. Love is in the air, in the rising of the sun. Love is in the air, when the day is nearly done. And I don't know if you're an illusion, don't know if I see truth, but you're something I must believe in, and you're there when I reach out for you. Love is in the air, love is in the air, whoa, 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 love is in the air. For it's like, yeah, the soul connection. It's like, I know if we come up, if it does become like spirit is presenting me, we become family, we become a relationship, and it works out. It takes a lot of courage, because the conditions is so bizarre. I would have never planned such a thing, but maybe that there is good reason why soul and spirit is through God is doing what he's doing, and sometimes we don't understand it, and it's like so the observer of the day. Well, those are personal things. I don't mean to bring anything personal into the picture, but it's part of life. We have this human side that we have to deal with in relationship to. We have both the spiritual and we have the material, and all of that is part of our journey and needs to be honored equally. And the observer of the day is the card of the day is change. Change, positive change that will be rapid, that will be definitive, and that will be complete. That's what we seek. The higher wisdom is diligence, same as in French. So really to pay attention to all the details and to be detail oriented. What we need to understand is illumination. Wow, yeah, to be in the light, to be light, and to be in the light, to be light only. we're integrating we're integrating everything, all the darkness, but the darkness is only relative to our experience. The light is something that is eternal and permanent within us. What we need to do is opportunity. There is going to be opportunities. We're ready to utilize all opportunities, everything that comes. We need to. Eventually, we cannot take all that comes to us. We need to choose what's important, what is not. But to consider all things that comes to you for that face value. What does it mean? Is it and to look into every rock, to see everything, to see there is always a reason why things come to us, and the outcome is abundance, freedom, abundance, prosperity. So that's quite wonderful. And about those opportunities, we pull 3 cards. Flow. We have the opportunity to flow. We have the opportunity for community to integrate all this. It's going to be a return into the third dimensional, physical, social, all of that, and to continue to be much, much more implicated within the human community. And stillness, and there is also always this point of stillness that we need to balance out the harmonious connection between action and non-action. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.